What do you want them to do with their
figures? Can't afford them.
What do you want them to do? What do you want them to do? I want them to answer that freaking question. Answer the question.
YouTubers.
Ask them the question. Ask them. Ask them.
Isn't it amazing?
Ask them the goddamn question. God.
Isn't it amazing that not one
big YouTuber
has shown 1% of the passion that Anna has today?
They don't care.
They don't
fine.
care.
They don't care. They're all so old, they don't even have to worry about it affecting them. And if they're young enough where it would affect them, they'll get there.
Action figures.
You're gonna fly to
they're
Paris.
trading
on their name.
Enriching themselves. They're good. They're good. They don't care about you. Make sure you understand that and you feel it in your bones. They don't care about you at all.
So no question today, just a comment. I was watching some of these YouTube videos from a couple of weeks ago where all the Hasbro teams were going around being interviewed by YouTubers, and I got frustrated again, and it really made me want to put together a video of what my strategy is for collecting in this new sort of world that we're living in, with inflation, with markets going all over the place, with wars going all over the place, with just everything happening. I just wanted to put together this video. So these are my tips that I'm following to make sure I can get the most out of my collecting hobby. But before we dive into it, please feel free, like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the list, and let's get to it. So number one, the first rule I follow is don't be a completionist. Like, to me, I've always thought of being a completionist as like being the ugly chicken orgy. It's like all this stuff's going on around you, and you just can't get involved in it. That's how I feel about being a completionist. I have a lot of friends who are completionists, and with the price hikes, they have started to say, hey, I gotta take a step back. But I think the problem with being a completionist right now is where you would have been able to complete entire waves for, 50 for a leader, 30 for a couple of Voyagers, 20 for 3 deluxes, where you can get all that. Now you're paying more. You're paying a lot more when you really do the math on it. When you think about taxes and in some cases shipping, because you can't find anything in a damn store. Being a completionist is hard work, and having to drive around to store to try to find it in the wild with gas prices, it's just not attainable. So I think the first thing you'd have to do is break away from being a completionist. So number two kind of goes hand in hand with number one. Focus only on the figures you want in that wave. Now, there's sacrifices that go with that, because there might be figures you miss out on. But upon first glance of a wave, you can pretty much tell what you want from that wave. If you want any of the Voyagers, any of the Deluxes, any of the leaders, you know when you see it what you want. You know it. So I think, for me anyway, with the way everything's going, focus is a key, because now I know exactly what figures I want, when I want them, how I want them, essentially. So yeah, I seriously laser focus on the figures, the single figures you want from a wave, and get those figures, and just be happy that you got those. So number three, know and keep my budget. So let's put this in perspective. So for me, my situation, I have a mortgage, car payment, regular bills, and kids in private school. Add on food, electricity, all that good stuff. Adding gas, because you got to commute these kids everywhere. I have a lot of responsibilities, so I have to keep a very, very strict collecting budget. So I need to know, am I going for Masterpiece this month? If I'm going for Masterpiece, that means I'm probably only going to get 1 or 2 figures. If I'm going mainline, if I think that mainline is showing me something awesome that I have to have, for example, I'll give an example, Blaster, the Kingdom Legacy Blaster. I knew I wanted it, and I was going to get it. Like, I wanted that figure. So I knew that buying that plus maybe a couple other figures on the main line or different lines, I knew that I was only going to be able to get maybe 1 Masterpiece in a month, or maybe 1 Masterpiece figure in a 60-day span. It just is what it is. But I keep in mind the budget that I have going into the situation that I find myself in. So yeah, I'm very mindful of keeping the budget, because the budget is going to shift based on gas, based on energy, based on groceries. The budget's going to shift on a consistent basis, especially as the summer goes on. Number 4 is be patient. So I'm going back to my ugly girl at the orgy analogy. Be patient, because eventually one of the handsome guys will get tired of one of the boring hot chicks and want to see what your ugly ass has to offer. But seriously, like, you gotta just be patient, because trust me, the sales are coming. The clearances are coming faster than you can faster than you could ever think about. I mean, for instance, I got a couple of figures, $25 figures. I got them on clearance for $12.93. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at them right now. I got them because I was just patient, and I was like, well, there's like 5 of them there. They're not moving. They haven't moved for weeks. I'm going to be patient and see what happens. Patience has its virtue, but patience also has a sacrifice. You may lose out, but you have to be prepared for that. I'm prepared to lose as much as I am to win. But clearance, sales, things of that nature, be patient. And I feel like you'll win more than you'll lose. And worst comes to worst, you'll have a few extra bucks in your pocket, and you can go get Masterpiece figures like I'm doing. just a thought. All right, let's get controversial. Let's get real controversial. Number 5, sell unwanted figures. Okay, so this has a couple of different tiers to it. Selling unwanted figures, 1, frees up cash for you. If you sell it, I don't know, wherever you want to sell it, eBay, Facebook, Mercari, whatever, it frees up extra cash for you to invest in future figures. It also does the dual purpose of clearing out space, because if you don't like the figure sitting there, it doesn't fit in your collection anymore, get rid of it. I have right now sitting in the chamber about 4 or 5 figures. They're getting sold. I already know they're going to sell. They're very popular figures that just don't fit in my collection anymore. Either, in a couple of cases, I got a Masterpiece version of that figure, a Masterpiece third-party version of that figure, and I like that more. So that figure, the mainline figure, is gone. Or I got a masterpiece, official masterpiece version of that figure, and the mainline version is gone. It just doesn't fit in my collection anymore. And it frees up space. It gives me a little extra cash to throw at the credit cards that I use to buy this stuff, or a couple of cases I paid straight cash, and I just want some of my money back. I want to recoup some expenses. So it a lot of people are not willing to give up parts of their collection, and that's fine. That's fair. But I'm just saying, in these times, I'm not saying it's desperate times, calling for desperate measures, but it's definitely a time where you need to consider, is this still right for me right now? And if it's not, get rid of it. Future-proof your collection by giving yourself some space, giving yourself a couple extra dollars in your pocket that you didn't previously have, so you can steer your collection towards something you actually want it to be. That's just my opinion. That's the strategy I'm taking. But yeah, it's totally up to you. Okay, and this is one of my bigger tips. If you're looking for older figures, shop at thrift stores. I've found 5 amazing figures in my collection that I didn't even know I really wanted. I just saw them and said, you know what, I'm going to get them at like secondhand stores, thrift stores. Like there's an hour away from me, there's a thrift store that's the size of a mall. It's gigantic. Their toy section would rival a Toys R Us, I swear to you. And it's all secondhand stuff. I got an Overlord for $12. I got, oh man, what else did I get? Oh my god, I have a couple. I have to look around my collection to really know, but like that Overlord alone, like that Overlord was just, where did that come from? And it was in a box, mint condition, and it was like, I just gotta have it. I already have another Overlord, and I was like, listen, $12, I gotta have it, and I got it, $12. I'm just saying, I have a Sky Warp in my collection that I got from a secondhand store. It's a little loose when you want to transform it, but if you don't transform it and you just leave it in robot mode, it's fantastic. Thrift stores are a great way to get some great secondhand figures, because some people just, their kids have it, or their kids sort of grow out of it and they want to get rid of their figures. It's a fantastic opportunity to get different types of figures. I know people who do the Marvel Legends hunts at thrift stores. They do like different sort of McFarlane figures, Mattel figures. Like I know, I have a friend in one of the communities I'm in. His wife found a retro Barbie at a thrift store for $9. That thing right now is currently worth, I think, like $75. I was like, mind blown. But like, that's just on a resale tip. But it's just, if you're into it, it's usually there. Funkos, I've seen Funkos at this place, this store I go to, the thrift store I go to. I've seen Funkos. I've seen everything. And it's not even about reselling the thing. It's just a matter of me wanting to add things to my collection, figures to my collection that I wanted. So I mean, thrift stores might be a move. If you're a minnow card collector, you need not apply. But for the rest of us that just want retro figures, things of that nature, thrift stores are awesome. An awesome way to sort of pad your collection with amazing figures that you may have missed out on, that you just won't get the box for. They might be missing a couple accessories, so be it. But if it's in good shape, go for it. You can get the accessories on like eBay or something like that. But yeah, this is sort of my list of how I'm attacking collecting right now amidst everything that's going on in the world right now, especially here in the United States. I know it's happening up to my friends up in Canada. It's happening to my peeps out in Australia. It's happening everywhere. We're all in the midst of suffering. But I think this strategy has been working for me, and I just wanted to share it with all of you. And I hope that you're out there, you're having the happy hunts on a consistent basis. You're finding the figures that you want. You're enjoying this hobby, because I don't want to ever leave this hobby if I can help it. And these are things that are helping me get through and get to what I want. But yeah, with that said, once again, please feel free, like, share, comment, subscribe. And yeah, be safe, be good. And this is the Drunken Prime, cracking open another beer and signing off.